Ladies and gentlemen, you are all very welcome to the membership conferring ceremony here at our home on Kildare Street. Welcome to all our new members and their guests. This week we will confer 219 new members from 24 different countries, and we're delighted to meet you all here today. This building, which has only recently been refurbished, this building captures and nurtures our heritage. Our Heritage Centre has attracted museum status, an award that recognises our dedication to caring for our collections to the highest standards. And I would encourage you to visit the corridor downstairs where you'll see some examples. We have ambitious plans to grow our museum and to open our rich heritage and medical history to the public and a wider audience. All around you there are portraits, sculptures and items that reflect our central role in the history of medicine in Ireland and abroad. Today you join their ranks and join all of us on your lifelong journey and career through medicine. This is an exciting moment in your careers and one that you have earned through your hard work, determination and dedication, as well as the support of those around you. So well done. And now, before declaring the ceremony of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland open, I might introduce our platform party. Dr. Mirza Mohammed Beg, our BST Trainees Committee Paediatrics representative. Dr. Emer Kelly, Director of Education and Training for the Institute of Medicine. Dr. Diarmuid O'Shea, President of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. Dr. Judith Meehan, Dean of the Faculty of Paediatrics. And Miss Harriet Wheelock, Mace Bearer and Keeper of Collections. And my name is Trevor Duffy and I'm Director of Healthcare Leadership here at the College of Physicians. And this is a meeting of the College of Physicians of Ireland for the purpose of conferring membership, which I now declare open. With your permission, President, I will proceed with the conferring ceremony.
Please proceed, Trevor.
Okay. And before we move on, I have to introduce myself again to speak on behalf of the Department of Healthcare Leadership. And I suppose this is the one speech, I'm never usually nervous speaking, but this is the one speech that gives me a little bit of a quiver, because I think it's actually an incredibly important moment in your lives. And you have no idea how proud we are of you and your achievements here in the college. This is a great day, and it's not the end, it's the beginning. By passing the membership, you've really gained the keys, the entrance keys to the college here. And the college is your new professional home for the next 40 years. Many of you will join us through higher specialist training programs. Some of you will move on to work elsewhere in the world, but this is your professional home. And you will all know not just the hard work you've been through to study for your exams, but the hard road that medicine is. Some of you will have tried to explain to your parents who are here in the room today, who've given you support through the past number of years, but you've tried to explain some of the difficult moments. And I'm sure you'll all remember, much as I do, kind of your internship, your first year as an SHO, when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, holding the hand of somebody who's 3 times your age, and perhaps it could even be their last moments, and how difficult and how challenging that can be, but also how fulfilling sharing that common humanity is. And those moments are difficult, and difficult moments are yet to come. And I suppose the reason why I'm here to talk to you is to emphasise the college's role. And when we talk about healthcare leadership, what we really mean is a home to facilitate you becoming leaders. And what's most important there is that you have a safe space. So you will, no doubt, have troubled times. We all do. You'll have times when you question your purpose. You'll have times when you question your decisions. You'll have times when you've faltered. And that's what the college is here for. The college is here to be your support, and you together are the college, and you support each other. So I'll stop waffling now, and we'll move along with the ceremony. So before we formally admit you all as members, I will call on Dr. Mirza Mohammed Beg, MRCPI Trainees Committee representative, to address you on behalf of the Trainees Committee. His address will come with a plea for you all to join the Trainees Committee and take part in the college.
Thank you, Professor Duffy. Thank you, President, fellows, and members. As a representative of the Trainees Committees of the RCPI, it is my honor, my privilege, and my duty to represent you and to work on your behalf with the college to improve the quality of our medical education as well as the training that we receive. I am sincerely delighted to be here in person today to extend my heartfelt congratulations on your remarkable accomplishment of achieving membership of this esteemed institution. It was no longer ago, actually 2 months ago, that I was sitting at your place, and it is still fresh in my memory, the number of hours and months and the years of hard work and efforts to reach this goal. The effort you put into your life, all the sacrifices that you have made today have finally paid off, and you should just be so proud of yourself and of all of your accomplishments. As members of the RCPI, you have distinguished yourselves as the brightest and best physicians of your generation. You stand apart as the group of doctors who will lead the profession for the generations to come. Your graduation today leads you one step closer to specialization in your field of interest and towards being a leader within our healthcare service, and it marks a significant milestone in your career progression as well as your success. Today must be a joyful day, a day of celebration to be shared with your family, friends, peers, and fellows. But please remember that this is not just an end, but indeed a turning point. From now on, you will have a shared responsibility in shaping our profession, deciding its evolution, and supporting and being the active creators of all the necessary progress to serve at the best of your possibilities this country as well as the needs of its citizens at the most vulnerable points in their lives. You will have the moral duty to put the talents and skills you have proven through many challenges and adversities to teach and to guide your junior colleagues and to ensure that they achieve and maintain the very same high standards of clinical and academic excellence that you yourselves have so well demonstrated. In this room, we all know these exams aren't easy, and many of us were tested to our own very limits. But they are a goal worth achieving. So please guide your fellow doctors to the same success you now so deservedly enjoy. I am delighted to see that so many of you have friends and family members here today. The support of your loved ones that has got you here is no small measure. To share and to rejoice with them for your success is the highest form of love and of teamwork as well. Finally, now that the exams are over, you no doubt have more spare time on your hands. I would suggest you to use this period to take stock of your achievement and to think what direction you would like your career to take. With that bit of extra time that you do have, I would also like to invite you and encourage you to join us in the Trainees Committee in working with the RCPI to bring about positive changes that will benefit you and benefit the doctors who follow in your footsteps. I'm sure over your engagement with the college so far, you have seen what works well, but also the things that we could indeed be doing better. Now that you have both the insight as well as the authority to make a change, I really urge you all to work with me to keep making this college a better place for trainees so that we can be proud to be members of this noble institution, proud of the fact that we can be part of receiving and providing world-class medical training, proud of the fact that we will always strive for better, and proud of the fact that we in this room are constantly working to safeguard the healthcare of the people of Ireland. Congratulations once again, and thank you very much.
So now comes the important bit. I will now ask all the licentiates and members to stand and to read with me the declaration for membership. And in the little booklet you have at hand, so if you can all stand, please, you'll see the declaration. And where it says insert name, that's when you speak your own name. So I do hereby solemnly and sincerely promise bylaws and regulations of this college relating to members, and will submit to such penalties as may be lawfully imposed for any neglect or infringement of them, including the erasure of my name from the list of members and the surrender of my diploma of membership received from the college. I further promise and declare that I will, to the best of my ability, do all things in the practice of my profession for the honour of the college and the good of the public. I further promise and declare that I will not keep open shop for the sale of medicines, or endeavour to practice or to attract public notice by any unworthy means, nor will I either permit or sanction the use of my name by any other person for such purpose, or in connection with any secret remedy. and in case of any doubt relative to the true meaning of this engagement, I promise to submit to the judgment of the College. I now call upon the President, Dr. Dermot O'Shea, to formally admit the new licentiates and members-elect collectively to the membership of the College.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as President, I hereby admit you individually and collectively as licentiates and members of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. Congratulations to each of you. Well done.
Okay, so you can all sit down now. Do you feel the change? So I will now ask each new member to come forward and receive your parchment as your name is called. Ira Ads, Pediatrics. Naveed Ahmed, General Medicine. Amal Ali, General Medicine. Abdullah Loy Al-Kunadzi, General Medicine. Arfan Aslan, General Medicine. Farhan Bashir, General Medicine. Arifa Shahira Binti Mohd Salim, General Medicine. Saeed Ahmed Rafi Bukhari, General Medicine. Aisling Carroll, General Medicine. Roisin Cleary, General Medicine. Finbar Conroy, General Medicine. Isabel Cotter, General Medicine. El Taib Abdallah Mohammed El Hassan, General Medicine. Brian Cormac Gordon, General Medicine. Mohammed Hag, General Medicine. Izzeldin Ismail Mahmoud Ahmad, General Medicine. Louise Hessian, General Medicine. Jane Hoban, General Medicine. Namra Iqbal, General Medicine. Roxana Kusar, Pediatrics. Aidan Kenny, General Medicine. Manail Khan, General Medicine. Sean Killeen, General Medicine. Lau Gon Yi, General Medicine. Arshad Makbul, General Medicine. Sive McLaughlin, General Medicine. Laila Nawaz, Pediatrics. Hafiz Irbaz Nazir, General Medicine. Gillian O'Keefe, General Medicine. Mies Burhan Omar, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Tyagarajan Ravi, General Medicine. Hafiz Ahmad Raza, Pediatrics. Aoife Riley, Pediatrics. Zia Ur Rahman, General Medicine. Aoife Riley, Pediatrics. Oh, sorry. Let's start again at the beginning, shall we? Colm Ryan, General Medicine. Hassan Mohammed Abdel Rahim Sati, General Medicine. Ellen Sugru, General Medicine. Haben Nugus Tesfaye, General Medicine. Eva Timmins, General Medicine. Saad Wahid, Pediatrics. Hai Wan Yang, General Medicine. And now I'll read the roll of those who are being conferred in absentia. Omnia Safaldeen Mohammed Hussein, General Medicine. Hadia Khalid Omar Ibrahim, General Medicine. Nabila Omar Kalafala Abdallah, General Medicine. Isra Al-Dirdiri Ali Kalafala, General Medicine. Samni Kim, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Nadim Mahmood, General Medicine. Abdul Rab, General Medicine. Rabia Mehboob, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Lutfi Mohammed Rashidi, General Medicine. Ahmed Abdelaziz Ahmed Mohammed, General Medicine. Mayadi Al-Taib Bashir Mohammed, General Medicine. Taiwaba Abdel Gadir Yusuf Mustafa, General Medicine. Rogaya Abdurrahman Omer Abdallah, General Medicine. And I think you can all give another round of applause for that. So now, Dr. Mohammed Hag, new member of the college. I will call on Dr. Mohammed Hag to address you on behalf of the new members.
Thank you, President, fellows, and members. It is an enormous pleasure to join you celebrating this significant achievement and major milestone. Occasions such as this often turn into a long list of thank yous, but it is important to remember those who supported us to this point and acknowledge them. Thanks firstly to the college and the fellows and members with whom we work. They are our registrars, SPRs, and consultants. They taught us our trade from the moment we arrived in the hospital as students to preparing us for the exams and, of course, into the future. To our patients, if you've ever been admitted in hospital, you may be familiar with the groups of trainee going bed to bed and seeking patients to help us practice for the clinical examination. These patients patiently sat up in bed and allowed us to elicit their stories and subjected themselves to poking and prodding, without audibly at least wondering why their doctors were still doing exams. To our supporters, our friends and families, who must be at this stage wondering how many more exams could possibly be left. The life of an NCHD is a hectic one, and it is our supporters who provide a constant as we move from job to job and hospital to hospital. They lend a sympathetic ear and support through it all. Lastly, of course, to each other, our colleagues and now fellow members. It is to each other that we turn, be that for a fortifying cup of tea at 4 a.m. in the res, or a second pair of eyes for a tricky cannula, or someone to talk through a puzzling case with. We reached today a milestone together, and it was a team effort. From the endless hours spent on the question banks, or leafing through the guidelines, or nominating someone to chase down a consultant to clarify a tricky point, or when it came to the clinical exams and getting together in 2s and 3s to practice. It has been sometimes long but very enjoyable road together. Today, it's important to reflect on our careers to date and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Our health service is enduring a period of perhaps unprecedented difficulty, and it is easy to become discouraged by this. However, it's important to remember and reflect upon the enormous privileges we have as physicians and as members of this college, and to hold those reflections as a beacon of optimism for the difficult days that lie ahead. That includes the privilege it's to look after patients and to hold the trust that they place on us as their doctor. It also includes the privilege to develop our specialties. We are today one step further along the road to completing our training, and in doing so, we will help to shape the practice of our chosen field. As a new members of the college, we will become more senior members of our teams at work, and we will have the privilege of teaching, training, and supporting those coming after us, and to help drive and maintain the standards of excellence that have characterized the college for 360 years. The college is its members. This is our college, and I'm delighted to join it with all of you today and to work with all of you in the future to constantly safeguard the healthcare of the people of Ireland. Congratulations.
So I will now call on the President, Dr. Dermot O'Shea, to address you.
So you'll be delighted to know this is the last speech of the afternoon. You've no idea the relief there is when everybody's sitting down holding the right cert for the right person. We know our systems have worked well within the college, so lovely to see you all get your certs. So now comes the important part, that's what Trevor said. I guess in any ceremony and in any celebration that you have, there is always an important part or a kernel of it, and that was when you stood up to read your declaration. That's not to dismiss the really important words that Anne, Mohammed and Trevor have said, because the words aren't hollow. They're heartfelt, and they're meant to be challenging, and they're meant to be thought-provoking. As Trevor said, and Anne said, and Mohammed, there are challenges in the healthcare service, but with challenge comes opportunity. And Trevor used two words in his, a couple of words in his speech. One was a safe space, and the other was question your purpose. And I'll come back to questioning your purpose, and I'd probably spin that as curiosity. I'm a geriatrician and a general physician, and I work close here. I get to pedal in most days into the college, and I get, in the role I'm in, I get the privilege to attend a lot of days, meetings in the college and around the country, and today is without doubt one of my favourite days, because I'm aware that I'm looking at and mixing with the future shapers, deliverers, and leaders of healthcare delivery in Ireland and around the world in the years ahead and in the decades ahead. And you have a responsibility to yourselves as you go through your training to mould yourself into the doctor you want to become, helped and guided by the college, your colleagues, your mentors, and the patients that you work with. So, guests, members, and fellows, Tá fáilte Calagrove, it's a huge pleasure for me to welcome each of you here to 6 Kildare Street on what is a proud day for you, your family, and your friends. And it is a real career milestone, because armed with your membership, your confidence as a doctor will continue to build, and your connection with the college here will evolve. If you took time recently to follow the ups and downs of those who put themselves forward in our general election, or indeed a time to engage the Olympics or the Paralympics over the summer, I'm sure you'll have been struck by the commitment, the passion, the focus of both the athletes and I suppose most of the politicians that were running. And I guess unless you're a Kelly Harrington or a Kate Dunleavy or a Paul O'Donovan, I suppose Paul O'Donovan may be a bad example, because for those of you who don't know who Paul O'Donovan is, he's a medical person and a gold medal winner in the Olympics. The accolades that Olympians get over their career, you don't get as a doctor. Now, while there's much more to all of us than a role, a title, or an honour, as doctors, our medal equivalent is seeing the progress and the improvement that we see both in patient healthcare delivery and in yourself over the course of your career. Everyone on this platform here, and indeed others in this room, have shared this experience with you. I clearly remember the day I stood in this room with my parents in 1988 when I got my membership. It's a day that stays with you. The hard work, the hours of study at night, the deferral of your social life, all the while in busy clinical jobs. So it's a really significant achievement. It is a real career milestone, and it's an honour for us to celebrate that with you, and it's great that you can be here. Each of us has our own reason for choosing a career in medicine, but you now become an integral part of the fabric and the history of this college that Trevor referred to. You're in a global and connected group of medical practitioners around the world, and what you are becoming is an ambassador of the college. But you're also becoming a custodian of what the college was, what the college is, and what the college will be in the future. And it is you that will make that contribution in the years ahead. I'm reminded regularly by the people I have the pleasure of working with and the patients I look after of the commitment to lifelong learning that every doctor goes through, and indeed many other professions. But we deal with new and increasing demands, often navigating uncharted waters, living with the uncertainty of patient outcomes, wondering how you can do more for your patients. And meeting those challenges isn't rewarded, as I said, with an Olympic medal, but with a growing sense of achievement and pride that emerges over the course of your 40 or so or more career in medicine. So you've loads to look forward to. And actually, I envy you when I see where medicine is going. The college here is the largest postgraduate training body in the country. We've got 6 postgraduate training bodies under our roof: pediatrics, occupational medicine, pathology, obstetrics and gynecology, public health, and the Institute of Medicine. And I'm always relieved when I get through the list and don't leave one of them out, because I have loads of deans sitting up here giving out to me for leaving their faculty out. John Stern is the man looking down from that picture at G in the hall, and he founded the college in 1654 at the age of 30. He was dead at the age of 45, which would have been a good innings back in the 17th century. And that in itself gives you an indication of how far we have come around the world. But he founded the college to do 3 things: to improve the training of doctors, to improve patient care, and as a place for people to meet. And those 3 things are just as valid today as they were in the 17th century when he founded the college. Here in number 6, and Trevor referred to this, our ancestral home since 1862, we are surrounded by our medical heritage and the many giants of medicine in this college. John Stern, I mentioned, William Stokes, Mary Hearn, Kathleen Lynn, Dominic Corrigan, who's directly behind me. So if you were worrying about Corrigan's sign or Corrigan's pulse, it's his fault. But they were all experts in their fields, as you will become. They were all outward looking, as I hope you are. And each of them practiced medicine in an ever-changing landscape, which we do today. So we must nurture those stories and your stories going forward. And that's where we see the heritage and the history of this college going. The vision of this college is, in essence, an inspired global community of doctors engaged and enabled to improve health. So today, you join a community of doctors and an international network of close to 14,000 alumni working around the world. Never underestimate the impact you can make. Each generation of doctors makes their mark, and I have no doubt you will too. But here in the college, we make our contribution and impact by empowering and supporting trainees, members, fellows, and indeed society to improve health through advocacy, education, and training. Trevor said that, today we've 219 people from 24 countries, along with your guests joining us. And I know from speaking to you before I came in this morning that some of you have travelled huge distances to be here. So we're particularly grateful to those of you who made that effort. What you do every day makes a real difference in people's lives. The skills, the knowledge, the friendships, the contacts that you make during your training, they sustain you during your training years, and they're the foundation and the launch pad of your medical career as you go forward. I'm a geriatrician, and I have the pleasure of knowing some of you here today and also having worked with a few of you. So bear with me if you've heard my stories before. But I would often ask a person, had they any advice they'd like to give me as a doctor or for us here in the college? And that's coming back to what Trevor said about sometimes having difficulty with purpose or maybe losing your track on things. But one lady specifically said to me, stay curious. Curious about yourself, curious about the patients you look after, and curious about those around you. And she also said, look after your own career. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Now, I've often reflected on that over the years, and I've wondered myself about where the answer to that is, because in truth, you sort of feel going through your career at times that you're not sure what path you're following, and you end up someplace rather serendipitous, if I can say that right properly. Certainly couldn't spell it. But I don't think we need to worry about that. I think you just need to be aware on the journey that there are ups and downs with it. And I think the other thing she said to me on the back of that was, you've got a duty to look after yourself. And what she actually said to me was, you need to communicate with people when you are not okay, so that you don't leave people guessing or accommodating your behaviour. So she said an awful lot more, but Trevor wouldn't let me write it down in the speech. He took it out because he said it would go on too long. We also had Dr. Anthony Fauci in here in April, and I asked him the same question. And he received our Stern Medal in recognition in all he had done, both on an individual and a global level. And while of course he emphasised the importance of evidence-based care and science and research informing how we deliver patient care, he also reminded us that we're not treating an illness or a disease, we're treating a person with an illness. And that, coming from a giant of modern day medicine for me, with all he had accomplished, was as much an inspiration as it was a relief, because he distilled it down to the roles that we play in people's lives at their time of greatest stress and need, is to focus on the patient. And by extension, that gives us all a sort of a roadmap of the direction of travel we should be going on over the course of our years and our careers. And this is something that can't be, it's effectively the art of medicine, and that can't be replaced by computers and technology. So weaving into the fabric of your practice compassion, kindness, empathy, and an understanding for your patient and each other will empower you to make an important difference to the health and well-being of your patients, to the healthcare system you work in, and most importantly, to yourselves. So never forget you're the future clinicians and leaders who will shape our healthcare service delivery over the next few years. So, as Mohammed said, and Anne said, be an active contributor within the context of the college. Become part of the culture change you would like to see across the continuum of healthcare. And that is as much a challenge as it is a privilege, knowing that you can be part of and lead the change in how healthcare training and healthcare delivery is delivered. Now, at times like these, when you're doing that, it can seem a little overwhelming. So it's back to getting the balance right in your life. You must make sure to look after yourself. because making time for yourself, your friends, and your families are essential. Across the institutes and faculties here in the college, Professor Duffy leads our Department of Healthcare Leadership. We've got a Dean of Education. Dr. Alessandra Biagini is the chair of the Trainees Committee. So there's lots of different ways of getting actively involved and giving some of your time. So after that rallying call and a brief meander through the history of the college and a little bit of self-reflecting, I have a few thank yous to say, and I'm really conscious when I thank people and name names that I've left out a host of people. So the most important people I thank today are the people I've left out, because they're definitely the most important ones, but I'm now going to name a few people and thank them. So firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the Platform Party, because they've taken time out of their busy days to be here and mark and celebrate today with you. And that's the importance we attach to this. It's the deans of the institutes and faculties, it's the directors of healthcare leadership that are here with you today, celebrating and marking it with you. I'd also like to thank our examiners and the boards, because you can't get the exam without all that work going on. So there's Ono Corona in paediatrics, Mary Higgins in obstetrics and gynecology, and Lucianne Behan in the Institute of Medicine. And then there's Dermot Bernock and Marisa Prendergast. And then there's our college staff, and we've over 150 in the college staff, or 170 in the college staff, who support us throughout our lifelong careers. Because remember, it's, 7, 8, 9, 10 years training, but it's 30 plus years in practice, so it adds up, but it does fly by. So in the room today, we've got Gabriella and Isabella and Chris at the back and Harriet, and they really represent the team looking after and helping us through our careers. So I'd specifically like to thank Audrey Houlihan, our CEO, and her team for their continued support and much appreciated work on our behalf. I said already, it's a pleasure to extend a Céad Míle Fáilte to the guests and our new members, both here in the Corrigan Hall and those who got banished down to the Winter Hall downstairs for whatever reason. And just say, we know that the emotional, financial and practical supports they and many more have given you are essential ingredients in your success. So I think from the front of the hall to the back of the hall, that is worth a round of applause from you here at the front to everybody. So Trevor's given me a wind-up sign, so I'm going to wind up. At the core, the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland provides the highest standard of quality of training, lifelong education and learning across our 40-year careers or so. And that translates into the best quality of care for the patients we look after. But the future of the college depends on you. And as the years fly by, and they do fly by, the college can and always will be a reference point for your continued professional excellence as you deliver care to the patients you look after and lead in healthcare delivery. You never stop learning. I said earlier on, the titles and roles are not the whole of us. Over the course of your career, as you bring honour to yourself, to your family, and to the profession, I sincerely hope that you fulfil your own dreams and ambitions. The opportunities open to you because of the career you have chosen are truly extraordinary and your potential unlimited. My congratulations to each of you on getting the membership. Enjoy the rest of your day. Congrats.
Just take a very brief moment and let it sink in. Let go of the imposter syndrome for a minute. So that completes the conferring ceremony. We will have photographs in the front halls. We'll ask our guests to stay here while the group photographs have been taken in the front hall, and then there'll be a reception in the hall next door, the Graves Hall, just after that. Thank you all. Another round of applause.